We'll do open calls. Like I always tell people, my DMs are always open for people who want to send us music or they want our opinion on tunes or tracks. Like my brother and I are very much open books, and that's how we got started. We wouldn't be anywhere without the help of the people who came before us, and we just want to impart that as well. It's the cult. Join the cult. Come on, baby, let's go.
Hey guys, it's Gina with Sidewalk Talk. This is Taylor Wenzday.
What up, guys?
Okay, so you're from the Bay Area.
I am.
What was it like growing up there?
It was interesting.
When you say interesting, what does that even mean?
You know, so my brother, as most of you guys know, is Dack Janiels. I think, you know, the Bay Area is definitely very tech-based, obviously
Right.
Silicon Valley. And so I think for people who are creatives, there's definitely, you have your squad and your crew, but you definitely have to seek it out a bit. And so I definitely consider LA more of my home. I started coming back and forth here when I was like 15 or 16. My dad actually was working in LA, still works in LA.
Yeah.
So I definitely consider LA more my home. My peoples are here. And so I have a lot more friends here.
Were you always into music?
Always, yeah. I started doing musical theater. Well, I was singing in the church choir starting when I was like 5 or 6, and then kind of went into musical theater from there. So always was interested in music and the performing arts in general.
So your dad is an event planner.
Yeah.
What does your mom do?
My mom works for a school. She actually works for the elementary school that my brother and I both went to.
Oh,
Shout out Belmont Oaks Academy.
What does she teach?
So she actually does the academic advising. So she's actually part of like the staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where
the curriculum coordinator. There we go.
Oh, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Where do you think you got your creative side from?
Definitely my dad. Definitely
Okay.
my dad. My dad is so musical and very theatrical and funny, and so yeah, definitely on his
Is that
side.
why you wanted to get into theater?
Yeah. My dad did a little bit of acting for a minute. He did theater growing up as well, so he was the one. Like my best memories of like getting introduced to music was like driving to school with my dad. My dad introduced me like Tupac, Dr. Dre, rock and roll, everything, pop, Prince, Michael Jackson. Yeah, so my greatest memories are like driving to school with my dad, and like he'd be playing like a Tupac song, and he would like play like 15 seconds of it, stop it, break it down for me, because he's always like, you can't rap it if you don't know what you're talking about.
He would rap to it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
He seems so cool.
yeah, he's the best. He's the best. So yeah.
What do your parents think about electronic music in general?
They love it. My parents are so supportive of what my brother and I do. My dad has been to almost every one of my shows. My mom has been to a couple of my shows. It's hard because my dad's in LA, so he's able to get. My dad's been to Space Yacht. Like he's been to Sound, he's been to Avalon. Like he loves it.
What?
Yeah, and my dad, even when I first started DJing, when I was doing open format, a lot of times my dad would like come with me to gigs. I was young, so. Yeah, they're super supportive. They love it. They've always wanted my brother and I just to be happy and successful. So whatever they can do to help, it's been great. We're very lucky.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's usually not the case for a lot of.
I know, and
especially like Asian parents.
yeah. You know, I think we're very lucky. My mom obviously she works for school. She's always like, you know, we had to do well in school and we had to earn it, and you know, but at the same time, you know, they were always like whatever they could do to help like facilitate what we want to do. If we wanted piano lessons or, you know, we wanted to go to Icon, it was just okay.
From high school you went to Icon?
So actually from high school I went to Cal State Northridge. So I graduated from Cal State Northridge. Yeah, and then basically like my grad school, I guess, I went to Icon Collective. My brother actually went to Icon first.
Yeah, he did.
And that was because my brother was into producing first, and I was actually a working open format DJ for a long time. So I really didn't get the production bug per se until I was like maybe 21, so a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I just saw what my brother was doing with music and how he was able to get his ideas down. Because I'd always be playing at clubs or shows and I'd be like, oh, I wish I had like this edit, or I wish this song sounded like this. And so when he went to Icon, I was like, okay, this is how we do this. So, yeah.
And then your parents, you moved from the Bay Area when you were 16 with your parents?
So basically, I was living like back and forth. My dad was working in LA, so my dad was actually throwing events at the Playboy Mansion.
Yes.
I know that's a big question. Yeah.
That's always a question that has been coming up for the fan questions.
Yes.
So like,
yeah.
like Playboy Mansion.
Yes. You know.
First of all, what was that like?
It was cool. You know, I consider that era of, if you break down the way like LA nightlife worked, there was eras of it, right? So the early 2000s was definitely the golden era for nightclubs. That's when like you had like the Paris Hiltons and the Lindsay Lohans. Like that was when like the bottle service culture was really big. At the same time, Playboy, that was when Girls Next Door started, right? So Hugh Hefner had the 3 girlfriends, one of which, Bridget Marquardt's a really good friend of mine. So that was kind of the era of like that, I don't know, people were just like partying. And so my dad was throwing events there. And when I wanted to DJ, he was like, look, I know some of the best DJs in town, I know. And so that was kind of how I got started. I got to work with some amazing DJs and then I was just like their roadies.
How old were you when you played for Playboy Mansion?
14 or 15. Yeah. It's a family home. Let's clarify. Hold on. It's still, people forget, like this was still a house, right? Hugh Hefner lived there. And that's always the excuse we would use when people were like, wait, where you're going? I'm like, it's a family home. It's a family
14,
party.
15 years old to the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were the youngest, but I didn't really know how old you were. So when your dad was like, do you want to play at the Playboy?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, why not hire my kid, right? Like he's, what a better supportive situation than like, you know, but obviously I had to earn it. I wasn't just up there like, what does this do? You know, for a couple years I was like, one of the DJs, actually was a female, her name was Jill. She was DJing, so I was like her roadie, right? I would like carry all her stuff and I'd sit there and I'd watch, she'd practice with me. And then I'd open for her, and then pretty soon I was playing with her, and then got my own gigs.
Tell me about Icon Collective. What was your favorite class there?
Ooh,
I mean, you absolutely loved Icon.
I do. I am the biggest stan for Icon Collective. I loved all the Ableton classes. I don't actually work on Logic too much anymore, but Logic, I had an incredible teacher named Valente, who was my Logic teacher. And also just a mentorship program. One of my mentors, Brendan Long, B-Sides, is still one of my best friends today. So yeah, I think it was really, for me, you know, I went into Icon like, I hadn't even opened a DAW ever, right? Like I knew my way around like turntables or CDJs, but the opening the project, I think I knew how to like save. So those classes were really fascinating to me because it was like from the very beginning how to lay out your ideas in MIDI, or, you know, and I play piano, and so it was like, okay, cool, how do we translate this to an electronic format? Yeah. Oh
yeah, because you started with being a classical pianist as well as a
singer. A classical singer. My classical pianist is a stretch. I can play slowly. I can read music, but yeah, singing was definitely my emphasis. So I actually thought I was going to be a singer for a very long time.
And then you had a singer?
Yeah, so I got nodes.
Yeah,
basically, which for people who don't know, that basically just means you have like bumps on your vocal cords, so it makes your voice really raspy. So my voice would like, I'd be good for like 15 minutes and then it would cut out. So basically had to go on basically almost a year of vocal rest. And in that time, that was really when I honed in on DJing. So rather than sit there and go crazy, being like, how do I express myself? It was, okay, cool. There's another way. DJing, you don't have to talk that much, so you can. I do now, but it was a way for me to get my ideas out there, and then obviously that became a career for me. And it wasn't like, oh, well, I can't be a singer, I can't do this. It was like, cool, now I'm making money and I'm working and meeting a ton of cool creatives in the process.
Because you've been in the game for a while now, like before you're even, it's been over a decade?
Yeah, literally. Literally.
Jesus. Okay. Well, you've been in the music industry for quite some time.
Yeah.
What do you feel like how has it progressed? Especially for humans.
Humans. Yes, for all humans.
Human standpoint. I mean, female standpoint.
You know,
because that's a touchy subject.
It is, and you know, this might be an unpopular opinion, but coming up in my career, I was very fortunate. Like some of my first DJ mentors were women, so I'm very thankful for that. Coming up in the open format scene in LA, I was completely surrounded by men. You know, my managers, my open format managers, the club managers, my peers, and so for me, but the thing was, it was never like, oh, you're a girl and we're guys. It was just like, are you good? And if you're good, then you'll be able to open for us or we'll play with you. And so I was very fortunate in that sense of like, I didn't really see gender. I just saw like, hey, like, can I do it or can I not do it? There's a branch. And same thing, I work very closely with my brother and my brother's peers. And so that question's weird because for me, I never saw like, that I was like put down because of my gender. It was really like if I didn't get a gig or I didn't get something, it was just because I wasn't good enough.
Right.
And I take that, and I tell people that anyway, it doesn't matter if you're like a girl, a guy, an alien, a giraffe, whatever. It's like if you can do it, let that speak, your work ethic speak for itself.
Right. Do you know any female producers that is struggling with it?
I mean,
do you think it helps to have your brother pretty like in the industry?
I think it helps to have family in the industry, right? I think, and my brother and I have a company together, we live together, and that's really just because siblings, like, you can be brutally honest and no one's leaving, right? And I think it was really funny. I was reading, my girlfriend Sippy in Australia, she tweeted the other day, you never hear someone say, this is my favorite male producer, right? You always hear female. And so I think maybe that mentality has to slightly change. But, again, at the same time, it's like, I think it's just, if the music is good and your shows are good and you have the skills and you work hard and you don't give anyone a reason to doubt you, then I really don't see a struggle. You know what I mean? I don't.
No, you're right.
And that's my opinion. And yes, do I think that there could be more females added to lineups? Absolutely. But again, if a female doesn't check a box and like you're just happen to be not as good as the person who got the slot, then maybe there's a reason. And that's just more. It's more for me. I put that on myself. Like, hey, like, why did this person get that slot? Okay, I need to put this out or do this or practice more.
Yeah. So what tips do you have as far as getting there? Just practice?
I mean, look,
or networking?
I think, for me, like, I still, like, anytime I think you should practice how you want to perform. And that even came from, like, theater days, They always say, like, when you would go into rehearsals, like, rather than wearing sweats and, like, not having your hair done, like, just practice the way you want to perform. So when I go into the studio and, if I have a set that's 1 to 3 a.m., I go in and practice 1 to 3 a.m. I have my lights set up. I do it in the dark. I do everything so that if I get into that situation, I'm ready for any possible outcome.
Right.
I know, I'm trying to think what else.
No, that's a really good point. Just because being a female producer, I keep seeing so many negative perspectives about it. So it's nice to see a perspective where it's like, it's not that bad.
I think definitely something that's like an uphill battle is, if I collab with a guy, then yes, there is sometimes the assumption of like, oh, are you dating or do you like him or do you have a crush on him? And so I think there's a little bit of a stigma there. Mm-hmm. But again, transparency, like I know that I'm not doing that. The other person knows they're not doing that. And that's all you can be. And the opinions of other people are going to be their opinions. And I think for me, it's like you have to learn how to turn that off at some point because again, the music speaks for itself, the product speaks for itself, your performance speaks for itself,
Right.
It's just learning how to turn that down because at the end of the day, it's not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? And like, all you can do is just keep getting better and not giving people a reason to doubt you.
Yeah, we are.
By the way, this coffee she showed me the best Vietnamese coffee.
Yep. It's so good.
I just want them to sponsor me. I want to swim in it.
I feel like they should sponsor me because this is the meetup that I do for everybody.
They need to. This is insane. I want to live in here.
Yeah.
This is my home now.
40 ounce cult. First of all, how did you come up with that name?
So
it was your brothers and his
and Hami. Yeah, our best friend, both of us actually. So Hami was a professional skateboarder. Tanner has been skateboarding his whole life. I just hang out with skateboarders. So, but basically, 40 ounce cult. It's ironic because it kind of happened at the time where I was DJing in nightclubs, and so 40 ounce is the opposite of bottle service culture.
Yeah.
And especially coming from, we make a sound that's slightly on the underground. It's not the most mainstream, and we wanted 40 ounce to be kind of this all-inclusive, relatable, accessible thing. And that's what it is. It's just like crack a 40 with your friends. Like anyone can go to a liquor store and get the $2.40, right? We don't gotta be fancy.
I like that. Was it always a record label and streetwear?
We actually were a merch company first.
Yeah.
We actually started in jewelry. And then it expanded to soft good merchandise. And then the thing was we had so many producer friends who were on board and repping the merch, and we saw that there was a lack of outlet for some of our friends who wanted to maybe make music that was like a little bit avant-garde, right? So for me, for example, like mostly I'm known as a house artist, right? But maybe I want to make a rhythm track. I could put it out on 40 ounce because it's still an outlet under Wenzday, but maybe not some with a label I'd normally produce with, right? So we wanted that outlet for our friends initially. And then now it's grown to I actually am the label manager for 40 ounce. So now it's finding new talent and building that cult. We do a lot of 40 ounce cult takeovers across the US. We actually just did one in Hawaii, which was amazing.
Oh my God, how was that your first time?
Yeah, well, so my brother and I, we went to Maui as our family when we were like, I was 9, he was 6, so like I don't really remember. But yeah, so the thing is, like, by sourcing new talent, we work really closely with Space Yacht. Those are 2 of my best friends. I love them so much, and so it's so amazing to like find new talent, release them on the label, and then to see them play shows.
How do you find the new talent?
Sometimes it's just me scouring the internet, like, or people will send me SoundCloud, Spotify.
Tinder for producers.
Tinder for producers.
That's what Bentley calls it, I think.
That's amazing. Look, Eric the other day sent me a kid who his tune was getting rinsed at Lost Lands, and he was like, yo, this is an up and coming guy, I think he'd be a great fit on the label. Boom, we signed his track. So it's from all over. We have friends referring us. It's just, or we'll hear someone be a feature on another tune, and so it really depends. We'll do open calls. Like I always tell people, my DMs are always open for people who want to send us music, or they want our opinion on tunes or tracks. Like my brother and I are very much open books, and that's how we got started. We wouldn't be anywhere without the help of the people who came before us, and we just want to impart that as well. It's the cult. Join the cult. Come on, baby, let's go.
What's the future for Wenzday? Like, where do you see yourself with the next couple of years?
That's a good one. I obviously continue to put out music that speaks to me and speaks to the people who've been following me. I've really, in the past year, I think, found my sound, starting with like Heartbreak House. I put out other tunes before Heartbreak House, but that was really what like dialed me into a certain sound.
Heartbreak
House, yeah.
Yeah, that was inspired by your breakup.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, I need to write about something I'm good at. Yes, being sad. No. And so
it's super relatable.
It is, and I think, especially from a female perspective, I'm just like, are we gonna die across the street? And so it's really just honing in on my sound, and then continuing to travel. I'd love to go overseas more. And my like long term goal is I want to be in Vegas. I just want a Vegas residency. Just trying to like do that.
That would be amazing. Where in Vegas?
I mean, the thing is, there's so many new clubs all the time, but I think even when I was doing open format, that was always kind of the goal. Mm-hmm. I like consistency, and I love like large groups of people. I think Vegas is so cool because you get so many different walks of life.
Right.
And that was really like when I was starting with DJing, like I would just go to these clubs and just stand there and watch these DJs like, wow, that's so crazy. You know what I mean?
I've only been there once.
Oh,
and
girl.
It was for Vegas, EDC Vegas.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was insane.
Yeah. EDC Vegas is a magical
That was
place.
my first music festival ever.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Way to set the bar. Just
I know. So like
you're ruined from now on. Yeah.
I know. Every single other music festival is just okay.
Trash. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
No, yeah.
But,
we love all festivals.
But yeah, last questions before we jump into fan questions.
Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I would like to be remembered as someone who makes music that lasts beyond just like a certain moment. Like, it's amazing when people put out like festival bangers or whatever, but the music I listen to like when I'm in my car is, like rock from like the 90s, and so I think writing a song that can transcend ages and touch people now and in 5 years and in 10 years, or a song that people can come back to. I know like if I ever am going through something, I have my like short list of music that I go to, and so if my music can be that for someone, that's it.
I love that answer. Okay, we're gonna jump into fan questions.
Okay, perfect. You guys, vlogging is hard. Like, I have the utmost respect for these ladies.
Oh my god. My arm is shaking.
Her arm is shaking, you guys. We're a band. It's a workout. We need to do some arm exercises. We out here. Are we walking?
Yes.
Oh, we're walking.
Okay, this is fan questions with Wenzday.
Okay, let's go.
First question.
Okay.
Favorite country and why?
Favorite country? Australia, specifically Sydney. I got to go there for a summer for a music program in high school, and I fell in love with it. The people.
You got to go to Australia for high school?
No, I did a summer music program there. I actually sang in the Sydney Opera House. That's super random.
What?
Yeah, I know, so random. But yeah, I think that was the first time I'd ever been like really overseas. That country has a special place in my heart, and a lot of my best friends even now are from there. So, yeah.
Favorite food?
Favorite food, sushi, hands down.
Sushi. What kind of sushi?
Oh, I mean, I love uni. I love sake, which is salmon.
Wait, uni's the
sea urchin.
Oh,
girl, come on, we get deep.
I've never had sea
What?
urchin.
I gotta take you. Yeah, I love all. I'm very. My parents introduced us to sushi like a really young age, so I'm pretty adventurous when it comes to it.
Oh, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Ooh. Oh, I ate fisheye one time.
A fish, but that isn't that lucky?
Yeah, that's so weird.
That is.
It is lucky. It's like an honor to get the eye.
That's so weird.
It is.
Nasty though.
I did it because I didn't want to offend anyone, but it was an experience for sure.
Okay. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Ooh, favorite childhood memory. Okay. Well, going back to when I said when I was talking about like driving around with my dad, my best friend Alexis and I were in the car one time. We were driving through San Francisco, and California Love came on by Tupac, and we were singing it, and my dad, like, we were like all like singing it and like screaming out the window, and I was probably like 12.
That's your favorite
I was
childhood
probably
memory?
like, yeah, just because it's like, I don't know, I was like with my best friend who I'm still best friends with today, and it was in San Francisco, and it was like this beautiful day, and we were just like literally cruising around in my dad's car, just like rapping this song. It was like, yeah, I don't know, I always think about that. I'm like,
what's the worst childhood memory?
Probably.
I have too many.
Yeah, I mean, I was super bullied in school.
Oh, really?
Which is why I think that like LA kind of became my sanctuary. Like I was definitely like an internet kid growing up. Like I had a lot of MySpace friends, and like then it became Tumblr, and so you know that's how you kind of turn things into a positive. It's like even if you don't relate to people that you're in school with.
I didn't realize you were bullied in school.
Yeah, but you know what? It's one of those things like you can harbor resentment, or you can just go, you know what? There, you know, growing up, I think a lot of kids didn't understand what like my dad did. It was like confusing, right? Like, and also like why I wasn't like going, because I was doing theater and like music so intensively. I wasn't going to like a lot of parties, or I wasn't like able to do a lot of like extracurriculars because I was so focused. And so you automatically become weird because people don't understand it. Now I'm so grateful for that because
I know, now you're here.
I'm set up. Yeah, exactly.
Do people try to reach out to you, like the people that bullied you?
All the time.
Really?
It's so weird actually, like if I'm at shows and people who are so viciously mean to me come up to me and they'll be like, take a picture with my like BFF from high school. And I'm just
Are
like,
you know what?
Sorry,
That's actually happening to me now.
Yeah.
Which is just so weird to say. It's like, you were so mean to me.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you just want to.
Oh, now you want to be nice, you know.
Now you want to hop on the Gina train with like.
The Gina train. I hear it's fun. No, but you know what? It's just, again, it's like, you know, for a long time I was like really mad about it. I was really angry, and you know, we also have to let that go. And you know, people grow up, everyone grows up, everyone changes, and maybe someone's perspective at that time was really narrow. So I try to have an open mind, because there's also been people who like weren't that nice to me I run into, and I'm like, oh, okay, you grew up, like you get it now, or something happens, and there was a reason. So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I ate a lot of lunches like in a bathroom stall, like alone. I know, isn't that sad? It's cool. It's fine. Man, this got really dark right now.
This got really sad.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Next question.
Biggest lesson you learned in this industry?
Don't give
lessons.
Yeah. Don't give people a reason to doubt you. I think just, again, your work speaks for itself, and your actions, whether like call it like on camera or off camera, like that reflects who you are and who you surround yourself with. You know, I'm very lucky. I have an incredible group of friends and my family, obviously, and so as long as you keep those people close to you and grounded, then you'll be fine.
Oh, what are some, I forgot to ask you, what are some challenges that you faced personally or out in the music industry in general?
I think, you know, everyone's their own worst critic, and so I think for me it was being able to let go of, you know, maybe you have a set that didn't go the best, or maybe you wrote, you know, you're writing a song and it's just not coming together. And I still struggle with it today, but it's like learning how to let that go and breathe and just be like, okay, like that happened, but what can we learn from it? And let's move on and be productive. Because if you harbor and just sit in it, like it's not good.
Yeah. If you could collab with anyone, who would it be?
Ooh. In EDM?
Or in general. It could be anybody.
Well, okay, so in EDM...
Someone said Beethoven, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, right? It's different.
If I could with anyone in EDM, it would be Wax Motif, Abstract. Oh my god, I almost walked into a cactus, you guys. What a sticky situation. Pokey situation. I hate myself. No, like Wax Motif, Abstract, AC Slater would be sick. And then in just the world in general, I'd love to do a tune with Halsey would be really cool. I think she's phenomenal. I love yeah, Halsey's great.
Oh my god,
she's so cool.
Yes.
And she's a concept writer too, which is awesome. I also love, I'm an emo kid, so like AFI would be really cool, or like
oh my god, I haven't heard that.
Or Yellow Card.
Oh my god, I haven't heard these.
I love a good fiddle, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, something cool like that.
Okay.
Because that's what I grew up. I grew up on emo music. I'm still an emo kid, so.
Same.
Yeah.
Remember in MySpace when you had to like pick out the songs?
Oh, girl, I lived for a good song.
AFI, Yellow Card, all of that was on
Dude,
there.
oh yeah, I got deep. Dude, I had Jeffree Star as one of my songs at one point. Do you remember when Jeffree Star made music?
No.
Did you know that?
Don't triple.
Yeah, Jeffree Star made music at one point.
I didn't even, what?
I know. Dude, check it out. It's still on Spotify. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look that up.
You should. He actually did, I think, one of like with Nicki Minaj, like one of her first songs ever. I don't know why I know this much about him, and like I'm just gonna stop now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you gotta look it
that.
up. Mm-hmm.
How did you get introduced to dubstep? Your brother?
My brother, but also too, like just going out. Like I definitely, any chance I could was always at shows, and I think there's a big crossover between like rock and hardcore and metal with dubstep. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a similar vibe. So really, it was just like a lot of I was really into like a lot of like electronic emo music, and then I think that kind of transcended into dubstep.
This is Wenzday?
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday! That was amazing.
I love it.
I love it. That up. But yeah, thank you guys. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment. It's so weird saying that.
Like and subscribe my channel. Comment below. Only nice comments, please.
Only nice comments. But yeah.
That's it. Thanks,
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Of course. Oh.